Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What's up? Big Herc 916 getting down with Fresh Out. Now, I saw this robbery on social media, and this was one of the craziest robberies I've ever seen on camera. So, you have this guard going to the armored vehicle, the armored truck, and he's about to load a bag of money. Now, the caption says $1 million. I don't know how much money was in the bag. If it's hundreds, he could easily have had $1 million in the duffel bag. But to nonchalantly walk to your armored truck, not be perceptive of the area you're at to notice anything in the distance, and this car just rolls up. The guy pulls out Mase, and he maces the guard and takes the money. Dude, you use a can of Mace to steal $1 million from an armored car, and there's no exchange of gunfire or nothing. That seems like it's just too easy. I mean, and the only other time I've heard about something like this is when I was locked up with a guy, and basically they knew the person working at the money depot, and therefore they were able to subdue this person without physically really harming them because they were in on it. But to think that you can pull up on an armed guard and he'll give you the money up and you can use a can of mace, that's not even comprehensible. I can't even comprehend that. That would be insanity to try to rob an armored guard with a can of mace. I know guys who have robbed armored trucks on the street that I was locked up with, and everybody had guns. There had to be a threat of bodily harm, and it was in a way where the person wasn't. They were overtaken. They were surprised. I mean, this guy looks like he was surprised, but it just looked like it was just. It was too scripted. I mean, you watching the video, what do you think? Do you think that the guard was in on it? Like, hey man, I'm gonna be parked here at this time, picking up this cash. Put a mask on, change the plates on your car. Uh, when you see me walking back, that's your sign to pull up, jump out, spray me down with mace. I'm gonna fall to the ground, grab the money. The other driver is inside. He cannot leave the truck, and all you have to do is grab the money and take off, and there won't be any pursuit because we can't pursue you in the armored truck. That sounds pretty realistic to me. If that was the case, the guy who got maced had to be in on it. And you know they're going to be investigating and checking phones, text, if there's any connection. Um, the fact that the way they took the money, typically when you rob a bank or you hit something like that, they got a tracking device in the bag hidden in one of the bundles of money. So you would have to go through every bundle to see if there's a tracking device. They also have a die pack. So sometimes when you go to move certain money, If you're not careful, you'll get die, and the die will blast the money, so the money's worthless. Um, there's a lot of ways they can figure out if that money was tied into that particular heist. So it's not as clear cut as a lot of you guys think, especially if you're just an amateur guy just robbing. Like the shit I got caught up with, man. Shit, there was a die pack in there, from what I understand, and there's all type of ways, and ours was just wild, anyways. But in a situation like that, they're not going to just lay down and let $1 million go and not investigate. Um, like if I knew a guy. They were involved in one of the biggest money heists in LA history, and I want to say it was over 12 million, and they left money. But this was not a robbery of an armored car. This was an actual depot. So they have these depots where they store money at, that the trucks come and pick up to deliver to all the other banks and institutions. And minimal security, because it's nondescript. You wouldn't even know it's there. And this guy, and they did an actual movie about it. I can't remember the name of a movie, but this guy had a friend that worked there, and they broke down the security and how it worked and blah blah blah. Because anytime you have a lick like that, it's got to be an inside. You're not, unless you see these movies and these guys got all this tech stuff and all this stuff. I mean, there's so many variables, but when you have somebody that works there and they give you the schematics and the breakdown, anyway, they were able to get all that information. I think there was only two guards there, and I think only one of them was in on it. So they were able to subdue both those guards, get a U-Haul truck, load the U-Haul truck up with money. Now, there was so much money, to give you an idea, that the U-Haul truck was full. They couldn't load it up anymore. They had one U-Haul truck. So they literally left money there, and they had the way they did it, and I don't know if it's because of how the timing was, but they had enough time to fill the whole U-Haul truck up to the top. And it was over, I want to say over 12 million. Now, check out how it works and why you can't make any mistakes. Apparently, when they left, or I don't know if when they pulled in, a piece of the U-Haul truck tail light broke off and was left at the site of the robbery, the scene of the robbery. So when they started investigating, questioning the guards and all that stuff, looking at the camera footage, they had all that stuff. But what ultimately got them busted was the tail light of the U-Haul truck. They found that tail light, and what they did was the detectives went to every U-Haul truck in Los Angeles looking for a match. Can you imagine that? U-Haul rentals, they went to all the U-Haul rentals to try to match that chip tail light. And when they found the truck with the chip tail light, they looked at the dates and the name on the paperwork when it was rented, and it was one of the guys' girlfriends. And when they started questioning her, the first thing she did was, say, "Hey, my boyfriend, blah 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 blah." But that wasn't even enough to totally get him busted. That created a whole surveillance thing now. From there, they started watching the people that worked there. Used to work at the actual depot. I don't know if they continued to work there or if they got fired. They saw these guys, I guess, apparently going to strip clubs, spending money. They started, they go to all these places like, okay, who's at the strip clubs? Who's at the casinos? Where has there been an influx of money from individuals who normally aren't at these places spending money? They check all that. So the strip clubs, oh, there's some guys, they've been throwing, what strip club is this? Okay, let's go to that strip club and hang out. There's a group of guys, they're there every week, tricking off, spending the money. Okay, that's suspicious. So they're watching that. Then they go watch a guys, one of the dudes, goes and puts $120,000 cash on a house. This guy's got a job that pays maybe 20 something, $30 an hour. How do you get $120,000 to put down on a house? One dude over here, he's buying this, car, he's got cash to put down on a luxury Mercedes. These dudes, man. And once they took down one dude, he told on the other dudes, he told on this dude, told on this dude, this dude told on this dude. They went down like dominoes, man. And they had one of the biggest licks with no shots fired, nobody physically hurt, man. Walked in and walked out with a U-Haul truck full of money. Man, they had storage. Dude told me he had a storage facility, and I don't know where he's at now. He got out, whatever, you know, happened with his case, but and this was like they've done reports on this, I think documentaries and stuff on this, but he said he would just go to the storage shed and it was just stacked with money, and he was smart. I think this guy, he was able to move his money around. I think his restitution is like maybe 2 or 3 million or something like that. All these guys, there was, I forgot how many, it was like 7, 8 guys. They all 3 million. Each of them got like 3 million, 2.5, 3 million cash. Can you imagine 3, 4 million cash? These guys running around. They were all security guards before that, making like maybe $18 an hour. Now they got $2, $3 million cash. Getting the money is one thing. Knowing how to spend it and not get caught is another. So for you guys out there pulling the licks, these people got time. They just watch. They wait and watch. And if they don't catch you, it could be as simple as a hooker saying you didn't pay her, but you had a bunch of money. It could be a family member. Doesn't take much to get you caught up, man. You can't make any mistakes. And these people, all they got to do is wait for you to make one. Big Kirk 916, Prison Talk.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.